Yeah. Oh man, just cracking open a cold one. Sitting in a truck here at Ashland County Fairgrounds in Ashland, Ohio for the Antique Truck Historical Society show over here. Pulled in about 4:30 last night or in the morning this morning after picking up a towaway trailer for Pennsylvania. I figured I would grab a load here and head over here. That way I could, what up, sign cutter? That way I could actually get paid to sit here because I don't necessarily want to bobtail over to a show that's more than 100 miles away from my house and, you know, sit there all day talking trucks and stuff like that. But if I can get a load going to somewhere, Raymond, what's up? Listen, I trying to get videos coming up, but for some odd reason, YouTube does not want to put my videos up. So I have a video that I took last week from me running and starting running, and I cannot get the thing to upload for some odd reason, and it's really pissing me off that the video won't upload. I started uploading it on Wednesday at my house, and I got to today, it was only at 58%, and then the thing just completely shut down. So I had no more upload for the video. So that's why I'm going live today, so I can at least explain that. I do have footage from me out working the trucks, and I'm trying to get them to go up, but you know, being out on the road and stuff, I don't always have the best service if I'm in Pennsylvania or Massachusetts or Kentucky and I'm in the middle of the mountains and I just don't have any service for shit. So I may need to actually get another phone. I was telling Kim that when I got back the other day that I need to probably get another phone. That way I can actually have a phone that has a service plan to run off of some other carriers instead of versus just straight talk, you know. But when I lived, when I was running Napoleon stuff, I would upload videos, and if I was over by Finley, sometimes they would upload fast, but then sometimes they wouldn't upload very fast. So I do have footage I'm trying to put out because I know a lot of people what's going on with me and running my truck. Congratulations on just getting your license in February. You should get your own truck, and what you should do is get a truck now and get the cheapest insurance policy. So when you go to file for your authority, your insurance is going to be a $4,000 minimum down payment, and then you're not going to have to pay $1,500 a month. That's what you should do. My suggestions to anybody starting off that wants to go owner-op. I feel like I'm having a good time. I'm basically dispatching my own loads now because things just didn't seem to work out with the dispatcher I had going on that they had suggested for me. Kind of sat for a few days here and there, and it just wasn't cracking the way it needed to be. So I just kind of told her, don't worry about me. I'll call you if I need you, and I'll start dispatching myself. So this last week I've been doing that. Kind of got put in a situation last week where I got stuck out, and in the videos I'm trying to get uploaded, you see that stuff. You know, I don't necessarily, in the videos that I'm shooting now, I'm not going to do a bunch of over the road shots and stuff. You're not going to, unfortunately, you're not going to get that because you know, I'm just not worried about what's going on back here, what you're seeing. All I'm worried about is what's going on in front of me and who's around me, because there's a lot of hazards out here. And since that's my name on the side of the truck and that's my insurance and I'm paying for basically everything and doing everything myself, I'm the one who's in charge of that. So I have to be more responsible than, you know, what's going on a camera behind me or trying to turn that on or not just to get some footage. So I try to do what I can and get what I can for you, but it's just one of them situations where if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So I will get out and do a walk around with you because there is some serious cool old iron over here. And Frank Strohmeyer from 10-4 Mags getting a shot of the truck right now. He's walking by in front, getting him a shot. See if he comes over here and chats. We'll get you him. Yeah, he's walking by. Yeah. He's got sunburn. He's got a nice sunburn on his head because he wasn't wearing a hat today. And sun was nice. It was nice actually today. I can't see what's all going on, so I'm Okay, you need some assistance on going owner operator. In the video where I changed the oil and I talk about Treadstone, Capital US, you need to watch that video, because that is I talk about for owner operators on how to get started if you don't know what you're doing. Like I went through OIDA, and I can't say that I was 100% completely satisfied with OIDA, but if you call up Treadstone, get a hold of George from the Treadstone video. The number's on there. It's on there more than once. I can actually pull my, actually you're on my phone right now, so I can't pull my phone up to give you George's number, but get a hold of George and he can direct you and get you in contact with the people that you need to be able to get whatever you need out of the situation you have going on. They can hook you up with insurance. They can make sure that you got everything set up for getting your authority filed. They can make sure you're set up with the clearinghouse, to where, because when you file for your own authority, you have to do the clearinghouse, kind of like what you have to do with, you know, when you're working for somebody, you have to sign up for the clearinghouse. But when you're an owner operator, you're all in charge of that. Okay, you have to have a portal. You have to do a bunch of stuff. They can help you get all that set up, the drug screens, pre-employment physicals, whatever. And they can basically assist you in all assets of that. They also can, when you first get started, when you first get your authority and you have new numbers, you can't just go out and get any load you want to. And that's the thing that I didn't really realize I was going to have to kind of wait. A lot of people say, well, when they first get their authority, they keep their insurance low and stuff like that, and they let their authority mature to where they can, you know, just as soon as they get their 6 months, and then they can sign up with about every broker and every carrier they want to, so they can pick and choose who they pull from. I don't have that luxury right now. I had some other stuff intended, but whatever happened, just didn't pan out, because I was going on with a guy, and the next thing you know, he kind of offed me and just never replied on what was going on. So I end up doing something different, and now I'm just doing me. So I just got 30 days today under my authority, and I've already worked 2 weeks, and I booked my own loads this week. I booked 3 of them. So it was, you know, something that was kind of nerve-wracking, but it's what it is. I mean, I ain't got no problems with it. So it's just one of them situations where, you know, it's trial and error. And once you figure out what's going on, then you're good. So yeah, that's what's up with that. And the videos, you know, they'll come. I just don't know when they'll be up, and I feel bad. And hopefully, I don't necessarily have a bunch of time at the house, because since I'm doing everything and running, you know, I'm not just going home every day. Sometimes I'm sleeping at truck stops and whatnot, and there's a lot of footage from truck stops and me talking about that stuff and my complaints with truck stops, because there are some complaints that you have that, you know, I don't necessarily see, because I was home every day, and or, you know, never had to stay at the truck stop. So, and I never went to, you know, miles away from the house or 100 miles away from the house when I was staying. So it's what it is. You know, you can either get a local job, or you can do what I'm doing and kind of go out on the road a little bit and just be out and touch base. If you can get the right situation to where you can go out and then come back the next day and make enough money to do that, I would suggest that, versus trying to find whatever. Because what happened with the dispatch is, she got me a load going somewhere I told her I didn't want to go, and then next thing I know, I'm going 600 miles away from my house, 8 hours plus away, and then I'm getting stuck over there, and I'm not being able to get back anytime soon to be able to get things I need, see my wife, do anything at the house, pay bills if they're coming in the mail, anything like that. So that's something that you got to keep and be mindful about, to where you just kind of set yourself up for the best situation. But you just got to know what's going on. You know, I just kind of went in balls deep. I didn't really care. You know, I was just ready to get out in the truck. I'd sat around for 7 months without doing nothing. It was just ate at me long enough to where I was ready to go. So that's what kind of happened with that. And I'm fine. Everything out here is an experience for me. I'm not like freaking out if I get stuck at a truck stop, or I can't get something to where, you know, I'm not running the very next day or anything like that. So it's just one of them situations where it's really not that big of a deal, and I'm going to do what I got to do and just make the best of the situation, because I'm in a 1983 Kenworth K100, And I'll show you the back real quick. We're living out of that, folks. That thing is a hot mess. I probably have about, I bet there is probably 200 plus pounds worth of tools, lubes, liquids, food, roller skates, clothes, you name it, is in here. Everything that I might need, because I was talking to my buddy Roger. We've been talking back and forth, Roger Neville, about, you know, the different stuff. And he's like, yeah, dude, I've got every tool I have, because when I get out on the road, if something happens, I break down. I don't want somebody else to be working on my stuff. And I'm like, I completely understand that, you know, and I feel the same way, because if something happens to me and I break down on the side of the road, I just don't want some, you know, call center guy or some hill jack that works at Love's that needs a job coming and trying to work on my truck if I can fix it. Now, granted, if I just need a belt or something, I'm going to say, just bring me the belt and I'll buy the part off you, but I'll install it, because I don't want you jerking around with my shit or anything like that. So I've got sockets, wrenches, everything that I'm going to need. I've got a breaker bars. I've got a big old thing of bolt cutters. And Kim's like, why do you need those big things? I said, because some of those seals, they're this and they're those bolts, and that metal's like this, so you got to cut that through that, or you can't get that off. And I don't want to take a you know, a cutoff tool with me. I could get, like, you know, a battery operated cutoff tool and bring it with me, but I just don't want to do that. So that's not something that I have in the market. So I brought those big things, and I've got enough room between my bed, because I've got a super small mattress, to where I can stack things back here. And that's basically what I do. Like, I've got the cooler right here. I keep my notebooks and stuff right here, and then clothes bags and stuff like that. And I've just got everything back here that I might need. So, you know, what's going on, Sven? What's going on? Sorry I didn't get a hold of you, man. I just kind of got stuck out at different places and never got back with you. But, like, I've got a case of water sitting on the floor in the passenger seat with other things that I might need, that I just go to Walmart and get, because I don't want to buy stuff at the truck stop, okay? They charge you to park at the truck stop. They charge you for food at the truck stop. They charge you a buttload for diesel at the truck stop. Tolls cost you money. Everything costs you money out here. So basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to be as conservative as possible. I will spend money on one meal a day at least, but I do have a bunch of, like, snacks for breakfast and things like that. I've got a bunch of coconut waters and stuff in my cooler besides the beer that's in there, which I had my guy Dustin go up and run since I was in Ashland, and I'm hooked up to this trailer, because right now I'm hooked up to a trailer. I can't unhook it because I am being tracked for every move that I do with this broker that I'm going through. So I picked up this brand new JB Hunt trailer yesterday from the factory in Lafayette, Indiana, and it's going over to Newville, Pennsylvania. Monday it delivers. So basically I got to be able to run over to Ashland and get paid to sit here at this show. So that's why we're coming live, because I couldn't get you anything up. So I figured I would do that for you. That way you got a live video. Hey, there he is right there. We're live on YouTube right now, Frank.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Not bad. This is Frank Strohmeyer. He's from the 10-4 magazine. The first time I was here, he did an article and put this truck in here. So, and when he was at Matt's, and I went and chased him down, and he thought that was the coolest, that I went and chased him down. Cool. So,
everybody enjoying the show? How'd you like the show, Chad?
It's cool. You know what I mean? This is better than sitting at an actual truck stop.
Right.
There's actual vendors with decent food. There's a free shower right there. I can plug my stuff into an outlet right there if I need to charge stuff. I was over there taking a nap in a hammock earlier.
Enjoy that?
Whew, boy, I needed that. After pulling in at 4:30 and getting woke up at 7, yeah, I needed that little nap there, so it was nice.
Cool.
Yeah. Frank's out here just getting all the good pictures for the magazine.
Too.
Oh, yeah, I seen your hat. I told him you got fucking sunburn on your head, so.
It's a good show. A lot of good trucks. I think there was about 295 trucks this year.
Yeah, that's what Red said.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Are you leaving tonight, or you come back tomorrow?
I'm leaving tonight. I'll be back tomorrow.
Right on.
What time you bugging out?
I'm not leaving until tomorrow afternoon when it's over. Okay. Then I'll plan my trip and go to where I need to go, to where I can stay, so where I can set myself up to drop this trail off Monday morning.
Okay.
So that's what's up.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna step down because I haven't done this for a long time.
Yeah, be careful.
All right, man.
We'll see you.
All right, enjoy.
Yes, sir. So yeah, I come to shows like this, get paid to come over here and do this, and see people like that I never met before. But you know, it's nice to come to shows because I used to go to shows all the time when I was younger, and I used to show cars and win trophies and stuff like that. But you know, you go to shows like this and you see people, like, since I do YouTube and whatnot, I don't have anything YouTube related on the outside of the truck anymore. All that stuff is gone. I do throw a shirt in the window. That's about it though. Right there in the window, I have a shirt that you can see that says the YouTube. Other than that, I don't have anything. I do have something down on the seat that I have on there, and other than that, you wouldn't know. And when I go to shippers and stuff or deliver places, I don't necessarily say anything about YouTube until the end of the conversation. I let people talk to me. And like, I was over in New Jersey at a truck stop last Saturday and Sunday, and when I pulled in, I backed in, I got a spot, I went in and paid, and I was in the facility later in the day, and I had a gal say, "Hey, you're the guy with the cab over." And I said, "Yeah, I'm that guy," and blah, blah. And she's like, "Oh, yeah, well, we seen you pull in." I'm like, "Okay." And I didn't tell her about the channel until afterwards. Like, when I first started talking to George about Treadstone and stuff, he didn't know I did YouTube until the end of our conversation. He says, "Well, what kind of trucker style, Sean? What's going on, man? Thanks for checking in." George didn't know that I drove or had a YouTube channel. He said, "What kind of truck do you have?" I said, "It's a 1983 Kenworth K100. And he says, "Wow, that's a real truck." So then later on in the conversation, before it was over, I told him, "Yeah, you know, just Google my name and you'll be able to see the truck, you know, YouTube channel and stuff." So he's like, "Awesome, man." So he ended up checking out, calling me back later that day. Long story short, he was like, "Yeah, that's awesome that you do that. You know, we're okay with you talking about us on YouTube and stuff like that, because some people are sketchy and they don't want you talking about their business or anything like that. They think that you're going to put them down." And I know a lot of YouTubers that have gotten followed from or fired from, you know, doing YouTube working trucks because of that kind of stuff. So I just figured I'm not going to have anything on the truck. And if I deliver somewhere and some people comment on it and they say they like it, I'll give them a picture afterwards and say, "Well, check me out on YouTube and you can see that." But we'll get out here real quick. Let me take a swig of my beer and I'll get you around on some of these trucks, and we'll do maybe a little walk around here. That way you can see some things, because I know just seeing that me in the inside of the truck, I'm not the best looking thing, especially with these old creep glasses on. Like I was telling Frank, I was I was over here in the trees. I had a hammock I put up right over here. So I was basically taking a nap while everybody went on their country cruise and stuff. But yeah, this is a brand new 2023 JB dedicated trailer that's going over to PA that I picked up yesterday, and pretty much trashed the top of it with bugs. So it's a big deal, you know what I mean? It's not a big deal, but side skirts and everything like that, it's basically going over there. Picked it up in Lafayette, so that's cool that you know, I'm pulling this over here, and they're getting some free advertisement from this, and I don't mind it, because but what's crazy is everybody's coming up to me and saying, "Hey, how do you like hauling for them?" I'm like, "I'm not. This is a power move, dude. I'm just pulling this over," you know what I mean? And they're like, "Oh, okay, I got you, blah, blah. So you run for blah, blah." And I'm like, "No, dude, I run for myself." Just like Treadstone, they're a factoring company. They don't have their authority. They don't do anything like that. Treadstone is just a factoring company. You own your own authority. You're MC. You do all that stuff yourself. They'll hook you up with the financing if you need it for fuel, if you need it for insurance, you know, if you need it for anything like that. They'll hook you up with that kind of stuff, but they factor your loads basically to where when you work with a broker, you don't have to wait for 20 days or whatever, 30 days to get paid. You get paid the next day. That's what a factoring company does. I signed a 6-month agreement with a factoring company to where I can go out and run loads, and I don't have to worry about waiting, you know, a month or something to get my money. So let's I'll spin you around maybe, and we'll go do a walk around of some trucks real quick, because I did get some footage of some trucks and whatnot, but I did not get, like, everything sucks and I just can't get the stuff up. And I'm parked over here by this, so I've been sitting on the porch basically all day, and I was going to set up to where I was doing a shooting with doing a porch video, but instead I'm just doing this right now because why not? It could be a little bumpy and rickety because I'm holding you in my hand and I have been drinking. So it's just one of them situations. Some trucks back here. When I first pulled in last night, I pulled in at about 4 o'clock in the morning, and I did wake one guy up, and he come over and talked to me this morning. He said something about it. I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry I woke you up. He's like, it's okay, man. I had to pee anyways. Check out this right here, this W900. This thing is freaking sick. I seen this a few years ago when I came in. That thing is a complete, absolute beauty, and I believe that's a full-off restoration. Oh, man, that thing just does it to me. If I ever get another truck, it's going to be a W900 with a short and stuff like that, because that's I like that kind of stuff. And I just like the fact that it's stubby, and you know, it's got the short sleeper and whatnot. I just like those smaller trucks. There's a bunch of people just hanging out and stuff. I am live on YouTube right now. Bunch of people hanging out.
Drinking beer with Chad.
That's what's up. Some old cab overs just sitting here. It's beautiful just hanging out and looking at all this stuff. You got one more back here. Bam. Yeah, there's a ton of stuff. And there's another guy over here sleeping that, you know. I was just over hanging out, talked to him, gave him a fan because he's a little warm in his truck, but I hooked him up. Here's some more. Here's a couple more. Look at that. Green like Frank. Bam. Let's check this guy out over here. He's hanging in his truck. You know who that is? Yeah, I could do a complete walk around of this whole fairground right now. I probably can. Hopefully this isn't too sloppy. There isn't a very decent gimbal in this phone like there is you know, the GoPro. So sometimes there's a little bit of wobble in here. Plus I'm holding you with my left hand, which I should probably switch it to my right because it seems to be the one that controls things a little bit better. Hey, what time are you guys opening tomorrow? I need some coffee. These guys are running some vendors right here, and this morning I was like, man, I need a cup of coffee so bad. And then finally they're open. I'm like, thank God. They charged me $1. He gave me ice too, so I didn't burn my mouth. It was amazing. Tomorrow I'll be over. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I told Kim, I said, man, I need to get some Sanka or something like that. It's an old IH. These guys are over all the time, all over places. I told Kim I need to get some Sanka, and she's like, and then I could just mix it in water bottles and have, you know, coffee in the truck with me anytime I wanted to. And she's like, you're not going to be drinking no freaking cold coffee. I said, hey, if I have to, I will. Here's another W900, and that thing's got a decent sized sleeper on it. That's a sharp one. Yeah, I'll flip you around and then just go. That way you're not staring at me the whole time. There you go. Get some shots. The auto car right there. Disaster relief haulers. Looks like there's a pig on there. Yeah. Bubba Scrap Metal, Mansfield, Ohio. This thing's kind of crazy right here, this old tow mater here. Let's get over here and check this thing out. They got this old boy set up right here to where he's freaking driving backwards. He pulled around the corner and he's turning backwards and everything. The exhaust even comes out the, look at that, there's the exhaust right there. That's the front of the truck. Isn't this thing freaking completely insane? So he's looking out the back, driving forward like that. When I seen this, I thought, what the? I was walking around with Dustin's dad, and while they were going out to get me beer, and we seen that, and I thought, man, that's just insane. There was a lot more trucks here, but a lot of guys took off. You know, some guys, they take off around 3 or 4. You know how it goes when you go to a truck show and stuff. They don't always just hang out the whole time or stay. Some guys do that, you know, have trucks and stuff. And most of the people that stay the night and sleep like that, they will. But, you know, some guys, they take off early, because when I go to a show that's somewhat local, like over to Lima, I kind of took off early. You know, me and Josh did. I don't like to necessarily stay the whole time if I don't have to. I can only do so much of shows, but since I'm, you know, on the way over with the trailer, it's not a big deal that I stay. Plus, it's kind of cool, so I'll let these guys walk by a little bit. That way I'm not being weird and talking. And I'm sorry if I'm missing any of your comments or anything like that. It's just they pop up somewhat quick, and I just don't yeah, that thing right there is sick. I don't you know, I'm not paying attention to the screen pretty much. I'm just talking and blabbing and looking at what's going on around me, to where I can see the stuff. Yeah, these trucks are sick. These guys took off. They went for that cruise, and somebody was squawking when they went by. I think it might have been this guy. They sound killer. There's another little KW up here. Look at that. Look at the size of that bunk up there. That thing is sick. Old Brockway. It's okay, buddy. You can wave if you want to. There you go. So Mac, this thing's sweet. A auto car, little Mac right there. Oh, that's a Peterbilt, man. Look at that thing. Look how tiny that sleeper is. I love how those short hoods are in those little sleepers. I would kill to get my hands on something like that. But what I would need to do is get rid of probably Frank first, and make some room in the driveway, because I don't believe the wife would be too happy if I just did something like that. So I just can't go out and justify doing anything like that. You know what I mean? There's these guys right here. I shot the video on this guy right here 2 years ago when I was come, and they've got an old furniture trailer here that they basically live out of, that's converted into a camper and stuff. So that's always nice. Here's a nice little Peterbilt here with the old wing on it. He's got him stretch. Yeah, look at that stretch, boys. Yeah, he's got him that California stretch, man. Come on. Oh, look at that guy right there. Look at that. That's pretty. That is pretty. Besides, he's going to be getting a bunch of Facebook goof right here. So, because he's got that other one that looks exactly like it. And he's got that right there, too, that's like it. Hell on wheels. Old Peterbilt. It's everybody having their you know, their times in sanctuary and stuff like that, talking and hanging out, maxing, relaxing. You know, Chatty boy sitting back here by himself on his porch, hanging out, drinking some beer. You know what I mean? Then there's some stuff back here too. We'll walk back here real fast. There's people. Big old group of them. Old Freightliner cab over and stuff. Yeah, that thing right there is just completely cherry. And that's got a nice short wheelbase on it. This guy right here is just, ugh. Look at that thing. Just gorgeous. Decent stacks too, to where it's not too big. I bet those things, it just probably doesn't sound too loud or anything like that. It's not too overbearing. Yeah, when I pulled in this morning, I come down here and turned around, because I always know people park right in here and stuff like that. And a lot of people, they camp out and stuff. So they'll spend like Thursday until Sunday here. So basically they'll spend the whole weekend here camping out and stuff. So I just basically camped or pulled in right here, and I had the truck sitting right in here. And then I ended up backing up earlier today, because I figured I didn't want to take up all this open space. So plus I figured I could take advantage of that porch, which I did earlier when you know, it was popping off during the day. I just pulled a chair up there and sat. But I had to give that truck a horse bath because it was completely disgusting. When I was going over to Lafayette, Wabash River, I must have picked up a bunch of those freaking June bugs or whatever they're called, mayflies. There was a ton of them on the truck and stuff. And the window was like completely covered. The stacks, you should have seen those. I may have gotten a picture or I may not have. I left a bunch of the bugs on the screen just so that could be like a reference point for people. Finally got me in a portion plate, so that's good. But yeah, I put that shirt in the window, and that's about the only advertisement I have on the truck. And it doesn't look too bad pulling that paddy wagon around, you know what I mean? It looks all right. So let's walk back here real quick and we'll check out the rest of these two. Somebody told me that is that's the president of a ATHS chapter somewhere. I can't remember exactly which area. There's supposed to be a laser light show tonight sometime. I can't remember when. That's cool. Old International right there. And that KW right there next to him, sick. What time are the lights supposed to go on?
I think really whenever you want to start turning them on.
Right on.
Yep.
He's got the old school plate in the front and everything. Let's get in on that thing. Bam, look at that. A nice stainless trailer there with him. This guy was cool. I talked to him earlier. He come up first thing this morning, was giving me a chat. Jim Osborne. He was telling me about this. Said they pulled it out the weeds and stuff for a field. Says it runs and whatnot, and they did start it up, but it's not in any condition to work it or anything like that. So they're going to go through and do some stuff to it, which is cool. Saving an old little truck. No main. Always like saving old junk. Always people want to be saving junk. I probably won't turn my lights on until later. I may need to even start my truck. So I don't want my batteries dying on me. I don't know if my my alternator belt may be a little loose and warbly, or I may have some issues with it to where you know, when I was running that last night, I was coming over, and it was the third time I'd run the truck at night with everything on since I got all those new lights and actually hooked up to a trailer and stuff like that. I was sitting there coming over, and the next thing you know, the voltage gauge was going down. But when I would turn on the actual headlights, it would. But with those new LED running lights I put in, the fog lights, if you will, I don't even have to run those. Those are bright enough to where I can just run those, and I don't even have to run the headlights, which is sweet. So I don't have to worry about anything like that, you know what I mean? I can just do it with those on, keep those off and stuff, and then everything else is on. Yeah, I won't turn my stuff on until a little bit later because I don't see really any point to turn my stuff on right now when it's not even dark. I want my stuff to actually glow and shine. And I may even start the truck just to idle it for a while and build the battery. Now sell Frank and pocket the cash. Space Ace. Ron, what's going on? Yeah, checking in. But yeah, that's I'm basically living out of this truck. I have so much crap in here, it's not even funny. Like I've got more than enough clothes, I'd say, because when I went out and I got stuck out the last time, I've got so much crap in here. I've got polish, wax, cleaners, hard hat. I even bought a little cone because when I'm at the truck stops, people don't know how to respect your stuff. And I always tuck myself back farther in the spot than I need to, because if I got a trailer jacked all the way up like that with the you know, the tandem slid, and then next thing you know, some guy pulls up next to me, or you got copy, Bone Crusher, what's your 20? I'm coming in. So yeah, that's what's going on. But I think that'd be cool to make a trip down there for some reason, because I'm taking loads anywhere, man. I'm picking the loads. I'm plopping them where I'm going. It's like everybody says, oh, loads pay good going to the East Coast, but there's really nothing coming out of the East Coast. You're going to have to either go south, or you're going to have to go farther east, or you're going to basically have to stay there. And I don't necessarily want to stay in Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, Connecticut, New Jersey, Philly, or anywhere, Baltimore, Worcester, DC. I don't want to stay all those places. I'd rather not. I tried to, after going on 76 last week, they charged me $25 to run Deadhead 16 miles. I said no thanks, and then I bobtailed all the way across 80 from, I was on over where the Pennsylvania Ohio line to Toledo for $27.50. I said, yeah, I don't think so. I'll run 80 in Pennsylvania, and I'll run anything north, but I'm not going to pay for tolls and stuff like that and pay to run on shitty ass roads like 76. You want to talk about a joke, man, and getting beat the hell out of. I'm sitting here jumping from in this truck because I'm getting slammed around so much because of the potholes and stuff and the construction. Not to mention, the construction is freaking ridiculous. It is just ridiculous, the amount of construction and stuff. And it's just a windy, curvy road. And Frank, I was talking to him earlier, he popped in. He was telling me, he's like, yeah, man, I used to love running down there. I used to haul ass through 76, blah, 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 with doubles and triples for UPS back in the day, or FedEx. And I'm like, you're insane, bro. I used to too when I was younger, but I don't do that anymore because I'm in my own truck, and there's a big difference, you know. So it's just one of them situations that you got to be mindful of. But yeah, I don't want to pay tolls to run on shitty roads. Like 80, when I was running on 80 in Pennsylvania, this thing, it just sailed. And this truck is done really, really well. Like, I'm extremely surprised how well this truck is done in the mountains, in the Appalachian Mountains, in the Pocono Mountains. I was talking to my buddy Todd, that is also hooked up with Treadstone, U.S. Capital, and he was telling me that Allegheny Mountain is the biggest mountain in Pennsylvania, and I pulled that on 76, and I told him, I said, yeah, there was only maybe 1 or 2 times I had to drop down a gear and the downshift to be able to go up the mountain and stuff like that. Slug up the mountain, and the water temperature never even went over 180. So this thing, with the new radiator and everything that's going on with it, I felt extremely happy after I got over there. I pulled the first load over. It was about 30,000 pounds. It was big paper rolls, which that's all in the video I'm trying to get uploaded. But for some reason, YouTube doesn't like me, and they don't want to upload my videos. So it's just one of them situations where I can't necessarily say I'm going to be home for 2 weeks at a time to where I'm going to be able to upload every video. But maybe if I get a couple days, I'll try to basically be home on the weekends, because there's really not a whole lot popping off on, unless I do a run like I'm doing now. Pick it up on Friday, deliver it on Monday, you know, things like that. If it pays enough, mucho dinero, for me to be gone away from the house on the weekend, I'll do it. But there is a few shows coming up that's kind of somewhat close around the house that I kind of want to stay around for. And then, you know, during the week, if I'm gone all week, it's just what it is. You know, the guns are loaded. My wife knows where they're at, so she can do what she needs to do, if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's just what's crap late now. Going on a Saturday night with me at Ashland County Fairgrounds. There's people out here. They're having fires. They're camping. They're having a good time. So hopefully everybody's enjoying their weekend and stuff like that. It was it was rainy yesterday. I tried taking off like 2 or 3 times. So I'll break down yesterday morning for you. I wake up in the morning. I tell Kim, I'm like, hey, look, I'm trying to find a load over there. If I can go over there and do the show, I'll take a load over there and do the show. If not, you know, worst case scenario, she's like, what if I want to go to the show? I said, okay, if I bobtail over to the show, we'll bobtail over, we'll go to the show, we'll leave Saturday, and we'll come home Saturday night. She's like, well, why don't we just get a hotel? I said, because I don't want to pay for a hotel over there for Saturday night for us to sleep in there when we could drive home. She's like, okay, well, whatever. I finally got her to understand it. And then I got the load. I ended up booking the load at like noon, and she was kind of upset with me because, you know, when I leave, I just tell her now, I'll see you when I see you, because I don't know when I'm going to come home. I may go out and I might not come back home the next day. I may go out and I may be gone for 2 or 3 days at a time. It just depends what's going on, you know, with her in that kind of situation. So I just try to, I don't want to make any promises I can't keep with her, because if I do that, then, you know, she may get upset, and I don't want to do that to her. And I don't want her to think that, hey, I'm going to be home on a Tuesday and then I don't get home until Friday or something like that, and it just be, you know, she gets upset about it. I don't want that. So that's what's up. But yeah, a couple guys got their lights on. It's really not even dark enough for her to put the lights on. But yeah, that is Dane Scott. I've hung out with him a little bit today. He's busy up there doing his t-shirt sells and stuff like that, and walk around doing his own YouTube videos and stuff. And I kind of basically just hung out back here with the truck. I cleaned it from probably, somebody was cruising around on a 4-wheeler about 7 o'clock this morning and woke me up. So I was like, went to the bathroom, did the routine. That's why I was giving the people from the coffee a guff earlier when I walked by, because it took so long for them to open up. Then they finally opened up and I got that coffee. And then when I come back, I end up sitting in a chair and just taking a break and drinking some coffee. And then Frank come over, was talking to me for about 15-20 minutes, and Flatbed Red come over and talked to us for a little bit. Then she took off, and then Frank took off. Then he came back and reminded me of something else, and we sat there and talked for another 10 minutes. And then I started giving the truck its horse bath the rest of the way, because I go in synchronized sections on how I give it horse baths. I usually go around with the rims first and get all the dirty stuff in the tires, things like that, and then I'll work the tanks and you know, all the metal at one point, and then I'll do the cab, and then I'll do the windows. So I'll just do sections of the truck when I'm giving a horse bath and whatnot. So I end up getting done around 11 o'clock from people just coming and wanting to talk to me and stuff at different sections of giving the truck a horse bath and whatnot. And then I went in there because there's a shower that is like literally 30 yards from me. So it's decent walking distance to the bathroom. It's decent walking distance to the shower. So I go shower and do what I need to. Went and showered, come back out, and Dustin, his mom and dad were sitting there. So I was like standing there talking to him, and I'm like, hey, I got this heavy ass backpack with everything I need on it to take a shower and do whatever. Let me go take it back to the truck. And we come back and we sat on the porch and we just kicked it and chilled. And I said, hey, you guys got a car? Where's the closest place the gas station sells beer? And I gave them some money. They went and ran and got me some beer. That way I didn't have to DoorDash it, or I would have DoorDashed it. It don't matter. If I can DoorDash beer, I'm going to DoorDash beer, because I can't unhook from this trailer since I'm being tracked and stuff. So that was nice of them to get me a 6-pack of tall boys. I just said, hey, get me a 6-pack. Then he brings me back these tall boys. I said, you didn't have to give me the tall ones. He's like, that's all they had. I said, whatever. So I've drank. This is number 5. I've got one more I'm going to finish tonight, and then I should sleep pretty good. May take a couple sleeping pills, turn my little fan on, because I'm going to give a big shout to Top Don right now, okay? These people sent me this thing last summer, Top Don, this JS3000 jump starter. Right now it's at 75%, but there's a pole right there that I can go plug it into and charge it. This thing has saved me from running my truck probably 10 times when I'm over the road and stuff like that. I plug my phone. I can plug my phone in and charge this. I've also jump started the wagon with this because it does have a spot for jumpers. It's got the DC and two USB ports that you can plug into, so I can charge my phone and a GoPro at the same time. I also have this little fan back here that I can plug, because I'm not running air conditioner or anything like that, so I can run this right here, and I can plug it right into this and run it all night if I want to. And it doesn't take a bunch of power to run that, and that just gets enough air to keep me cool and stuff while I'm back in this bunk. I usually keep the smoker vents and stuff like that open, which you can see that one. And then I kind of keep the windows cracked just a little bit. But I do have those Indian blankets back here. I take those Indian blankets and I throw them across the windows on my my visors here. I kind of just hang them up so I can block all the light out, because even though I have this that I can unroll down, I can unroll that, and I just, you know what I'm saying, I still have the zippers are broke since it's 40 plus years old. You know, it's one of them things where there's still some sunlight that can come in, but I just try to block all that stuff out. I don't know when I'm going to see James again. He's getting ready to take off and fly. He's probably going to be gone for 2 weeks to a month. I don't know when I'm going to get back down there, or when he could be coming up to see me or anything like that. So I don't know when I'm going to see James again. Well, I'll see James again when I see James again. When I make time, when I'm working in my schedule to see James, I'm just not going to take time out of my life to go down and see him because I'm running my trucks and that's my main priority. So that's what's going on. Keith, they make zipper replacements. Listen, bud, okay? I don't really care about no zipper replacements, okay? I'll fab and hill jack my stuff up all I need to get by, okay? I'll throw them Indian blankets in there. It's no big deal. I kind of like the privacy of the Indian blankets because if I want to take my shirt off and just sit in my seat, I can do that with the Indian blankets up versus climbing back here and dropping this to take my shirt off and sit in the, you know, I like that because nobody's like looking in my truck then and seeing anything. You know, I've got the hats in the dash and I put them up there like that, and a lot of times I'll hang that shirt up in that window like that too, even when I have the Indian blankets up. So I leave that up there like that, so it's just, you know, people can see that it's my truck if they want to, but like I said, I don't necessarily have anything on the outside of the truck that says anything about YouTube because I don't feel like it's any benefit to me to have that up there. It's more of a disadvantage than anything, I guess, because, you know, people don't subscribe anyway, so what's the fucking point? You know, Maine, there ain't really no point. So, Keith, how are you doing? Are you having a good night? I seen you sent me a snap. Sorry I haven't got it yet, but I just, I was doing this when you sent me the snap, so I didn't even get to check it, but I'll check it when I get off here. I'm sure Roger sent me one. I haven't heard from Roger yet. He said he had to go to his grandma's funeral this week or today, and then he had to drop a load off this earlier, and I think he sent me a snap. I just haven't checked it because I actually got some, God, what is that? Jersey Mike's delivered to me. I got that DoorDash to me for supper, and that was amazing. And I'm thinking about ordering a small pizza or something and having that brought out to me because the vendors are all closed down and stuff like that. But I do have snacks in the back, I guess, if I want to eat, so I don't have to worry about, you know, spending more money on stuff since I did buy some crap from the store. But I'm about to get off here and see what's crap late around here. Finish my beer and start winding down, maybe get comfortable. You know, since it's getting later, I don't know what time it is. Did you get a cutlery and napkins this time? I didn't need that because I had a sub. I had a Jersey Mike sub, so I didn't need anything. The thing was saturated with oil and vinegar. The bonnet was just soaking up. I was telling Kim that it was so good, man. And it was like 12-inch, and it was cut in half, so it was just, ooh, it was so good. I just, ooh. It was heavenly. That's what I told her. I just explained it as heavenly. I did get, Keith's talking about when I was in Massachusetts, I DoorDashed some barbecue. And would Treadstone be good people to get started with? Yes, Treadstone is a company Treadstone's a factoring company. Treadstone is a company that can assist you with all of your needs to apply for your authority, get you set up for your clearinghouse situation, your portal. They can help you with insurance. They can help you basically do everything. Need to buy a truck first. Yeah, you probably need to get a truck before. I mean, you can call George, though. You're more than welcome to call George and talk to him and inquire so he can fill you in with all the knowledge. That way you're just not buying a truck and going in blind. You know, it doesn't hurt to call somebody and to find out what's going on before you make that purchase, because what happens if you make that purchase and then it doesn't work out and you don't want that truck or anything like that? If you buy that truck and then you realize, hey, this isn't something that I want to do, you just bought a truck and then you have to worry about turning around and selling it. What happens if you lose $5,000 on that because something's going to sit for a while and somebody's not going to want it, or they're not going to appreciate the value that you had bought it for? They're not going to have the same appreciation. So do your homework and research before you go out and just do anything. Call George up and talk to him. It's not going to hurt anything. There's nothing wrong with a conversation. He's going to give you all the knowledge that you're going to need to know, that you know, you're going to feel comfortable with going out and purchasing that truck and getting yourself set up for success, because that's something you need to do. I'm not saying I went in blind, because I was an owner-operator for 4 years. I had insurance for 4 years. That's why my insurance was so cheap, because I had it for 4 years on trucks. And, you know, that's something that you need to be mindful about. But, yeah, it doesn't hurt to call somebody and ask questions before if you don't know. I can't answer everybody's questions on this stuff because I'm still in a learning process too myself, and I don't have the time to reply to messages on Messenger or anything like that, or comments on this stuff, especially if I'm at work and I have to book my own loads. I'm booking my own loads. I'm finding my own loads. I'm running my own loads. I'm in charge of all my finances for the truck. I'm basically my own accountant stuff. Some little girls are out here squealing and stuff. There's little kids going crazy and stuff out here. But yeah, I have to do all that stuff myself. All I can say is if you have any questions about Treadstone or getting started or anything, call George. Go back and watch the video that it's me changing the oil that says Treadstone on it, and you'll get George's number through the middle, or at the end it's on there too. I can't look it up right now, or I would. I'd give it to you, but because I'm on my phone right now doing this live video, so it's just one of them situations. But yes, I could probably drop George's phone number one of these times, and George is supposed to be getting me some business cards. That way, when I am out, I can hand them out to people if I want to. But, you know, it's one of the things where I don't necessarily have time to chat and whatnot. I'll tell you about an instance that happened to me last week when I was in Hanover, Pennsylvania. I was in Hanover, Pennsylvania. I was picking up a load of tortilla chips from Hanover place, kind of like the pretzel place, but it was a Campbell Soup own affiliation in Hanover, Pennsylvania. I was taking it to Uxbridge, Massachusetts. The gal says, wait, even though the light turns green, even when the light turns green, you have to wait until, you know, somebody comes over and the yard guy lets you out. So I'm like, okay. So this guy comes over, he wants to talk. He's like, you're done. I'm like, cool, man. We talked for 15 minutes about the truck. He pulls off. I'm letting the truck air up. I'm getting ready to take off. I'm going to hit the air button. Somebody pulls over and he walks over and he starts talking to me. This dude talks to me for 15, 20 minutes, and I'm trying to pull away as he's talking to me, like give him the hint, like, yeah, I got to go. I've got stuff to do, because he's talking to me about a truck that he had in the 70s. It was a 79. He worked for a company. He bought it. They had a frame-off restoration that they did, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And the guy's just wanting to talk to me and talk to me and talk to me and tell me about this truck. And I'm like, I don't really give a flying, I'm sorry, but I got to go. You know, one of those situations. And it was just like, man, I'm trying to roll, bud. I'm trying to work this truck. Like, I'm pulling through the truck stop the other day in Franklin, Ohio, down by Cincinnati, north of Cincy, and some guy's like, oh man, that's my cowboy, look at my cowboy, blah, blah, and I'm just like, you wish, mother, and he starts laughing and chatting back with me, and then I'm like, yeah, dude, he was talking, and I got out and fueled up, and then when I got back in and got ready to look, I said, hey, dude, I'm coming back by, get your camera ready if you want to take a picture or something. If not, I'm gone, you know, and then I just took off. Not a factory. Treadstone is not a factory. They're a factoring company. They pay you, they finance you, so you don't have to wait for, you know, 20 days to get paid from a broker when you broker loads and stuff like that, or your dispatcher broker loads if you get a dispatcher. You're more than welcome to get a dispatcher, but the dispatcher I was linked up with wanted 10% of every load they booked me on, and they wanted to book me on the most expensive load, so they got 10% of those. This girl tried to send me down to El Paso, Texas on my first load, and I said, absolutely not. Are you fucking smoking crack? Because I don't have a fuel card, and I'm not trying to take $3,000 with me in my pocket for fuel to get down there and get back home, and then getting jumped at something because I'm whipping out $100 bills at the truck stop, you know, and somebody sees that and want to jump me out in the parking lot. So I said no. And I told this gal at the beginning, keep me around the house. I want to stay towards the Midwest and say somewhat local. I want to be at least 2 hours from the house to where if I have a catastrophic problem, I'm not like coming out of my pocket to pay for something. And I've got buddies around that I can call, hey, say, I need you to come get me, blah, blah, or run to my house, go in the garage and get this, and then come back and bring this to me. I can do that versus paying some, you know, guy I don't know that's going to come and be like, well, yeah, you're 600 miles from home. I'm going to take you for everything you got situation. I don't need that kind of stuff when I'm doing that. So I'm just trying to be conservative and smart. Ooh, little man just wrecked his bike, man. Get up, you're okay. You just fell in the mulch, boy. Come on. Yeah, listen to your mama. Yeah, just chilling at the fairgrounds. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. It was a good day. I did get some footage from today. walking around and stuff. I planned on putting some music behind it. So anything you didn't see, all the stuff that I took earlier will probably come up. Who knows how long it's going to take. It may take 2 weeks before anything comes up, unfortunately. I just don't know what's going on. Can't get any videos to upload, so it's just one of them situations where it's what it is. But I'm going to get off here and finish this beer and go plug my top down in. That way it's plugged up to 100%. I can plug my phone in later and get my fan going. That way I stay nice and cool tonight, and don't have any issues sleeping. Probably take me a couple Tylenol PMs and just pass out. That way I can actually sleep good tonight, because I only got maybe 3 hours of sleep plus that little half-hour hammock nap I took. So I'm just going to try to take advantage of a nice cool night, because I'll tell you what, I will go into one thing real quick before I get off here. When I'm at the truck stops, see you, Keith, I'm not done yet. Just wait, listen to this. I'm at the truck stops and I'm trying to sleep, and I'm next to a 2016 something, and I'm next to a 2020 something, you know what I mean? And next thing you know, these dudes are idling, and they're both there for 2 or 3 days. Okay, these dudes here are for 48 hours. They're idling their trucks, so they're spending, if it's a gallon an hour, they're spending 48 gallons of diesel idling their trucks. But not only that, I'm guaranteeing they're spending more, because what happens with those new DEF systems, they need regen after a truck sits for so long and it idles or runs. So these trucks are constantly regenning. Okay, so there's this guy next to me, his truck will shut down, and every 15 minutes he'll turn it on just to charge his batteries back up, like he's running the AC or he's running a bunch of power with his truck off, but he's got his windows down. So he'd turn his truck on and he'd sit there and floor it and rev it up for like 15 minutes. Wham, wham, wham. And then he'd just turn it off and it'd sit. And the next 15 minutes he's starting that thing back up and it's doing it again. It's like, dude, what is your deal? And then the guy next to me, his truck will sit there and run the whole time. And then every 2 or 3 hours, it'll do a regen, and it'll just bam, kick in. And the smell of that stuff will melt your nose hairs and give you a straight headache. Like, I've got my windows open. This stuff is flowing right into my truck, and I'm just breathing this in. And I'm not running my truck, period. So anybody that says my truck's putting off bad emissions, you're full of it. And you should probably check out what's going on with this whole new DEF situation, because those things are garbage. They break down all the time, and man, are they nasty. But who am I? I'm just a dumb truck driver, so I wouldn't know. But man, I'm telling you what, sleeping at a truck stop is a chore sometimes. Roger was telling me about that the time I'd interviewed him, when I seen him when I was in Frank, and he was telling me about how sleeping in a truck was a chore sometimes at night, because he runs his all the time until he pulls back into his mom's or his house and shuts down first 34. Then he shuts his off. Not me. When I get to a place, I turn it off, because I don't want to idle it, run any power or anything like that. I just shut the thing down. So it ain't no big deal for me. But I moved the other day. I was in Florence, Kentucky, and these guys go around. There's security guards at these truck stops, and they go around, and if you don't pay for parking, they'll come and make you leave, because the guys will reserve spots, and if they're reserved spots, they'll kick you out. So all the dudes around me are leaving when I'm in Florence, and there's 2 guys set up on the outside of a line that's not supposed to be there, so these guys can't get out when they're trying to go. So I tell the guy, I said, hey, I get up out of the bunk. I'm already back here, comfortable lane. I get up out of the bunk. I climb in the front driver's seat, and I go, and I'm like, I talked to him. I said, hey, dude, I know he's having troubles, because I can hear his truck moving, and he's backing up, and he's going for it, and he's backing up, and he's going for it. So I get out, and I go, and I said, hey, dude, I'll pull up over to the left real quick and give you enough room to where you can swing out and not hit me and get out, because he has to leave. And he's like, man, they're kicking me out, blah, 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 this and that. And I'm like, look, dude, I said, there's a rest area right down the road. Go down to, go down the road and get you a spot there. I said, even if you have to pull off on the side before you pull in and you can't get a spot, you'll be able to park there. Nobody's going to hassle you. You'll at least be able to get a full night's sleep, whatever, before you need to take off. So he's like, cool, man, thanks. So I pull up, move so he can do that. And then I end up just moving, because nobody was around me, and the way it was for someone to back in, somebody was going to clip my truck, and that's the last thing I want, is somebody to clip my truck, because when I was in New Jersey, some jackass was whipping around real quick and coming up, and I was on the end, and I show pictures in this video that's going to get uploaded. It's just not uploading anytime soon, because YouTube sucks, and they like to stick it to me when it comes to uploading videos. this guy's trying to pull in here. Well, he's trying to straighten up with his telephone pole and get right next to me. He's sitting here jacking his truck around, and he's probably coming like this, and I got my door open. I'm sitting there waving like, what the fuck are you doing? And the next thing you know, I close my door and I get ready to get back out because he's doing it some more. And then the security guy comes by and he says, hey, you can't park here, blah, blah, blah. And he made him leave, basically, so I didn't have to worry about that and that guy hitting me or anything like that, because I thought to myself, God, my truck's going to get hit and I'm going to be pissed. So luckily I didn't, but I talked to those security guards and I'm like, hey, dude, you know, give me some cones or something to set up around my truck so people at least see them when they're coming by and not hit me. But yeah, I ended up moving from the spot because there was no room for somebody to back in 2 spots over. So then I'm by this jackass that has a leaky ass air compressor. So his stuff's sitting there leaking, his air compressor's leaking, or he's got a leak somewhere, so you can hear an air piss the whole time. Well, this jackass has got his truck jacked up to about 1,200 RPM, so it's revved up. Then he's got the bottom dump, so all of his air is going out and coming up next to me, and he's got this loud ass pissing air compressor right over to the side, and I'm just like, dude, that was one of the worst nights I had spent in a truck stop. And I just thought to myself, I need to get some noise canceling stuff to plug in my ears to where I don't have to hear this crap, or that fan is going to be good. So it's just what last night, like this morning when I pulled in, I hooked up that fan because the birds were chirping and stuff, and I could hear them, and I didn't necessarily want to hear them first thing in the morning. So I turned that on, that way I could hear them. That way I could get a little bit of sleep and stuff. There's a couple people walking by. What are you guys doing?
Oh, not too much.
Just hanging out?
Yep.
You looking for the light show or what?
Yep, light show. They're getting ready to have everybody turn lights on if you're wanting them on.
Well, I'm going to wait until it gets a little bit darker. You're not going to be able to see mine. Mine are ninja lights.
Ninja lights, there you go.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Turn on your lights. I did get this little flashlight sent to me. Big shouts to these guys. Olight. These guys sent me this flashlight. I've got a video popping up for this. She said to wait until July to pop this up. But man, this thing is super bright. Bam, look at that. Whoo, boy, that thing is bright. And it's got this little nifty laser pointer. And then I also got a, let me see if I can get the, I can't find the instruction manual for this. I got this Viafo A1119 dash cam sent to me too. I'm trying to work on making a video for that I just can't get a video made for. And I've got some footage from that, but I can't get it to transfer from my dash cam to my phone from my computer because I just don't have the right kind of plugs and stuff. So that's just what it is. But yeah, laser light show. Pink Floyd, I wish I was tripping or something. I mean, you know, we're talking about the dark side of the moon here for the laser light show. This guy's got, his motor is glowing red from what I can see from here. So that'll be cool. Maybe I'll shoot some footage and it'll be in the video. So you'll have to stay tuned in a couple weeks whenever I get this stuff up. I'll probably have to get a new phone with an actual plan to where I actually have some data and it actually tries to upload, because I'm like on 5G with 2 bars and nothing's uploading on this onto YouTube that's 35 minutes long plus. So it's just one of them situations. All right, you guys, I'm gonna get off here and do some cruising around and see what's going on and kick my lights on for all these little kitties. That way they're on before it gets too dark and Uncle Chad can walk around and have my beer, start my truck, and let it idle. That way I'm not draining my batteries, because that's the last thing I need is for my batteries to be dead, because I wanted to be cool and show off because of my lights. Keep the mobile wash. Listen, bud, Josh, you need to get a bucket and you need to get a gallon of water. You know what I do? I've got an old antifreeze jug, and that's what I use. I filled that up with water, and you can get water basically at any truck stop or anywhere you want to. And that's where I also give myself hose baths if I need to. I'll give myself a hose bath with that bottle of water and washcloth if I need to, or that jug of water. So basically, I have a jug of water, and I will dump it in the bucket. I'll dump it in the bucket, and I have some rags in the bucket. So I'll dump the water, and I got some Dawn if I got grease. but I've got water in this. Dump a little bit of water in there. Get a little bit of rag, water on your rag. Wipe the stuff down with a dry towel first. That way, if you got any dust or grit in there, you're not wiping water and scratching your shit up in your tanks, your nice polished tanks. Yeah, get all that dust off and whatnot if you have any. But if you have just a light rain or something like that, and you can give it a quick hose bath, do it. That's what I suggest. It's good for getting bugs off and whatnot. But you also need a nice wax coat on your truck. Yeah, I'd filled these in. I'd filled these in red, and then I went to the Streak and Beacon because I got super trashed when I went over 76 the very first night I was over to Carlisle. And I said, hey, wash my stuff. I just want soap and water. That's it. Next thing you know, their soap must be that strong is what somebody's telling me. My wax is all streaked up, and this stuff's all just streaking down in red, and I was fucking pissed, and I had not slept, and ooh, boy, was I hot. But anyways, it's just what it is. So I'll have to fill those in, but then I just cut those out of the cricket and put them on because I wanted my Kentucky on there. That way, if I get pulled over in Kentucky, I'm not getting a J, you know what I'm saying? Then I got my truck number, even though it's etched in all over. That's elastics on my van too. That's what I made my truck number, so I wouldn't forget it or anything like that. But yeah, thanks for tuning in and checking out. This is my first live video ever. Maybe I'll come back when you know, out and about, and we'll do some truck stop talk. We'll figure out something to do, whether I'm chilling in a hammock or I've got my seats here, I've got some chairs that I'm taking with me and sitting at a truck stop, interviewing other people or just shooting the shit. You know, it's one of them situations where it's going to be what's coming on if I can't upload videos because YouTube sucks sometimes. So till then, you know what we say. Peace out. We will see ya.